Okay, share. Oh,
Hmm.
okay, let's do this. Okay, here we go. Let me go full screen. So I started out with this is what we had looked at originally as turnaround home for gang members, prostitutes, and criminals and drug addicts. And then it came to me, hey, this same kind of layout could also be used for just people in poverty who need skill development. They could also come for classes, or maybe
Mhm.
there's another place where this could be done. And then I started thinking, wow, maybe it could become shelter homes for low income personnel and even the homeless, just as possibilities. I want to say that this is a pretty big vision, and this is kind of an endpoint in my mind where we're headed, possibly, possibly. And Mac, you start where you are, easy, just working with the people. But I'm just seeing this as kind of big term, long term. So here's the problem statement. How do we develop, fund, and build a set of structures with the following characteristics and parameters? Marigrace, you talked about getting an existing building. I understand all that. This is longer term. Located in Nigeria, Africa, then potentially maybe other African states, and then maybe even other countries. So the land is sized to allow for modular expansion. I'll talk about that in a minute, but big enough that you can add modules to it. Cookie cutter plans, so it's repeatable. These are sets of plans that could be sent anywhere and rebuilt the same way. Economically sustainable. Mac, you mentioned that the profit exceeds the expenses. That what you bring in from a barber shop, from auto repair, whatever it is, makes money to help keep it going. And then I added sustainable green energy, looking forward, solar power for lighting and heating, HVAC, heating, ventilating, and air conditioning. Uh, Use local products, resources, and labels and labor to construct. That's a problem statement. And then the part of this is how do you develop it? How do you fund it? You could go to engineering schools, have a contest for designing the structures. And I don't know what kind of technical schools you have in Nigeria that could be interested in this. Go to large engineering companies who build cities and community infrastructure. And also, so there are a lot of them in the US, but also city design, uh, building design, and so forth, what they might have in Nigeria. Fund from corporations, grants, governments provide their names in backing and on structures. So Sam was talking about that grant money and some of those. Go to large personal donors and philanthropic organizations. Hadn't thought of that before, but there are single donors who also might support this. They do this in colleges, they get their names on buildings and all that. And then perhaps dome builders that already exist. Here's one called Pacific Domes. So this was the idea, and it came to me in a dream. I'm dreaming, and this whole thing developed during the dream at night. That there's a main meeting hall, and it's octagonal in shape. And then on each one of the quadrants, north, south, east, west, northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest, you put your smaller octagonal quadrants. So this could be a kitchen and cooking class one. Here's a dormitory, maybe a computer center for training, another dormitory for people to stay in, cosmetology school for beauty, builders, carpenters, electrical, and plumbing school. This is a very important one because not only could they build this stuff and learn in the process, but they could also have job skills later on. And then you already have, I believe, auto repair mechanical shop, another dormitory. Then what I was talking about land for expansion, you have enough room around it. Of course, offices on the inside. We did this at Parsons. We had an octagonal building, with offices all around the edges. Uh, you could add these. See, you could add octagonally structures going out in all different directions if you had enough land. So I put in barbershop. Maybe you need a couple more dormitories, maybe more for training. And of course, these are kind of empty buildings, so you could switch around what you're doing in them. Okay. And then I said, why did I have this octagonal thing? And the octagon represents transformation and regeneration in many traditions. Its eight sides creates a bridge between the square, representing earthly and material reality, and the circle, representing divine perfection and infinity. So when you put these two together, it's combining here with the divine, physical with the divine. That's, you throw those two together, that's the octagon. And then the other thing is it physically possesses remarkable strength. The way the structure is designed, it's stronger than just the square structure. So these octagons appear in towers. These are large towers which have to resist earthquake and wind loads. So the geometry is good as well as the kind of the vision of it from a spiritual standpoint. Also, eight carries the weight of success, power, and infinite possibilities. Uh, Pythagorean numerology associates eight with material mastery, business acumen, and the ability to manifest abstract concepts into concrete reality, which is what we're doing here. Alchemically, it's as above, so below, bringing heaven and earth through an intermediate nature represented by the square and the circle. So those were some things I just pulled up on what the strength of the octagon was. So here's a couple of just different looks. They do not have to be this fancy, but these are just some images of the octagonal, and then having the modules all the way around in the different quadrants. And there's a precedent of this going on for future communities. Here you can see some different looks of the center structure with the other ones around the outside, which seem to fit with what Mac was looking at with a central meeting place where people could meet. There could be lectures. You could have yoga or something in that central one. You could even have some tables in there for a dining area. And then all the other little ones, which are specifically designed. Here's one that's actually where I live in Sedona. These are all domes, and these happen to be connected together. But you can see the general idea of the big dome there, and then all these other little domes. These are just places for people to come and vacation and stuff. Everyone's a bedroom and that sort of thing. But that's the idea. Um, this is very fancy, but you get the idea looking at all the facets on it going around. It's structurally sound, and yet the whole center area is open. The other option, which I was looking up, is Nigeria faces housing shortage of 17 million units, creating 600,000 new housing needs a year. So people need a place to stay there. And these can be standard dome models of 1, 2, 3 bedrooms using modular components. They're pretty energy efficient, and they're very good with winds and earthquakes. So this is just an example of how you would put bedrooms into them, bathrooms, living area, dining area. There's just some partition walls which are very easy to do. In a dormitory, you could have partition walls and bedrooms all the way around the circle. So this is how it would be constructed. You build one wall and then you repeat it. Now, another wall might have only windows in it because you don't want doors in every spot, but it's very simple. You build a wall, it's to code, and then you connect them together. So one wall made 8 times makes an octagon. And then for the roof, you either have a pointed roof or a dome roof. Either one of those works on that structure. And this is in my backyard back in California. I built a gazebo myself just by hand, and it's in that same kind of layout. You can see the sides and then going up to the roof. And on the roof, I built another little portal on the top with a north, south, east, west wind vane kind of thing. And very simple roof, just coming down on each side. Very, very straightforward, simple construction. This is Atlantic Richfield funded homeless shelters in Los Angeles, maybe
Yes.
uh, 30 years ago. I don't remember when it was, but
Yeah.
Marilyn Dunkel actually lived there, and she was there during how they were constructed. And the tenants in there helped construct these. So that was pretty neat. Uh, the price of land got so much they couldn't stay there anymore. Uh, so you can see the downtown area in the lower left. They were close to the downtown area, and the price just skyrocketed. But it just shows what they did at that time.
And you know, Tim,
Yeah.
I remember those very well. It is still empty property. It was politics. It
Oh
wasn't
no.
it wasn't
Okay.
land back. They haven't
Geez.
built a thing on it. Yeah,
Okay.
they just took them away. But
Boy.
it worked really well. I know people who were there also.
So I looked into the domes. They're energy efficient, they're portable, they're easy to assemble, they're engineered to, do hurricane force winds, they can do snow loads, they can survive earthquakes, fire resistant. There's no eaves if there's a fire for the embers to catch on, which happened in California here terribly. There's no eaves that the embers can come under or fire can come under. There's no roof that is under. Uh, so I looked a little bit at Nigeria, and here's the climate in Onitsha. How do you say it, Sam?
Onitsha.
Onitsha?
Onitsha, yes.
Onitsha. Okay. So this red line here is showing the uh, average heat going on from January through July. It gets up into the 90s. I think your humidity is pretty high in the upper 70s. Not too terrible. It doesn't get freezing, and it doesn't get to 115 degrees Fahrenheit, which is what's happening in Phoenix today. Also, it looks like you get quite a bit of rain, particularly from, during the summer months into November. Uh, and so, Mac, do you have any hurricanes or earthquakes, fires, or winds in your area?
No, earthquakes, no.
Good. Hurricanes?
I don't even know what hurricane is.
Oh, okay, then that's good to know. I've lived through a number of hurricanes. It's like, a tornado that's big. A hurricane
Yeah,
can be many miles wide with storms and winds over 100 miles an hour.
that's right. I see those things on TV happening
Yeah, oh, well,
around.
that's good. That's good. So you don't have to deal with that stuff. And that's all important in construction. It makes a big difference. So here's some other questions. Do you own property now? Any land or what property you have? Can you build on it, or what's your situation there?
I would just say it straight out that I don't have property. I don't have land, even though I am making arrangements for a land. But then it's not in Onitsha. It's, in a rural area.
Okay. How far away from Onitsha is it?
Quite far, quite far.
Okay.
In terms of distance, it would be something like 6 hours.
So do you have that land because you want to build your turnaround home there, or do you want to build it in Onitsha?
I would rather Onitsha is very expensive as far as land is concerned.
Okay.
Yes, all the areas around Onitsha, because there is a big market. The people are rich. They are looking for land, and so landowners take up the price high, high, high. Our radio station, no, our TV station is on a piece of land that was bought for 11 million naira at the time it was bought. Give and take, that would be anything around $11,000. And that's plenty of money in Nigeria. But you know, if it is in a rural area, that same piece of land can be gotten for, say, 3 million naira or 4 million naira, which will be anything around $3,000 and a little bit more. So you see the difference is quite much if you have land in a rural area and in an urban area.
Sure.
So I was looking at, you know, for a man who does not have money, I was looking at starting very small in a rural area where I can get a good piece of land, believing that with time, the place will be developed. And then, you know, like businesses, if you have a training place, for example, young people are staying here, they are being trained here. If businesses are to be established like a barber's shop or a tailor's shop, it can be done in a busy area. It can be done in a rural area. But the actual infrastructure can be in a rural area to cut down costs. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah, and it would be advisable that you wouldn't have to travel so far to get there, right? If that's
Yes,
possible. Yes.
yes.
Aruba is about 4 hours from you, right?
Say it again.
Aruba is 4 hours
No,
travel.
it's the Abuja.
Yeah, Abuja is 4 hours from you.
No, Abuja is 12 hours
It's
from where.
12 hours.
So you're thinking about building where first, small? You're just,
Maybe can you put the map up again, Tim?
You bet. You bet.
well, where is it that you want to build small?
Well,
Is it
that's why I'm
near
saying
Ani-
put the
is
map
it near
up.
Onitsha?
It will be about 6 hours of travel from.
Okay, so there's the
And
map.
you're doing that primarily because of cost of land.
Yes.
Okay, well, let me say that if we have a benefactor that Tim's talking about or a corporation, cost of land is not going to be a problem.
Okay. Okay.
So, and it seems much more practical to think in terms of where you're building it near in the area where your state radio station and your
Mhm.
home are.
Okay.
That to me anyway makes sense.
Mac,
Right.
is this area right around Onitsha
Now this is
open?
Onitsha. Now, if you come down a little bit, you see Calabar.
Yes.
Yes, the area I was talking about is close to Calabar. Indeed, Calabar is the capital of the state
Uh-huh.
where this rural area is.
I
6 hours
see.
from your radio station.
Yes,
So it's 6 hours by bus?
by bus, yes.
Okay.
Oh boy, that's a long time. How
Mm.
about just right around Onitsha, just
Yes,
in this area, not the city itself, but just outside the city?
yes, right around Onitsha. I'm thinking of another place. Indeed, when I go back, I have to call up a man who had told me um, he has land. Indeed, he had said, if you help, he had a problem and he came to see me and I referred him to a doctor and he said, if this problem is treated, I promise you a piece of land. But you know, when people speak that way, they are just speaking. But still, he's somebody I can call up and say, hey,
Sure.
let me see the land you have, which is close. Let me see the land you have. And then
Sure.
I negotiate with him financially, not expecting him to give me for free.
Sure.
I mean, nothing is really free.
Well, I think if we hold the concept of we'd like something close to where you are, that would
Yes.
hold that as the vision.
Okay.
Do you use acres in Nigeria to measure land?
Yeah, we use acres, but in all honesty, I don't know those things.
Okay, so Tim, what kind of acreage do you think we're talking about here?
Well, you could do this on 1 acre, I believe, but 2 would be better.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
1 acre, 1 acre would you could fit everything I showed earlier with all the pods,
Mm-hmm.
and still be inside a code with respect to how many setbacks from the edge. But if you really wanted to expand it, I would say 2 acres uh, would be a good goal to go for.
Okay,
Okay.
and Tim, I'm guessing that the property Marigrace and I live on, 2 acres would be about 10 times the size of our property.
Yeah, yeah, easily.
Yeah, okay, so there, give you a sense of
Okay. So
10,
this,
10 times this land.
is what, an acre?
The lot that
Five
we have.
times this land is 1 acre, 10 times is 2 acres.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And, Mac has talked about, he needs to get a team of people, and one of those is a real estate attorney.
Sure.
And, yeah, so just
Okay.
bringing that up, yeah.
Okay, good. I'll go to the next one here, see if I can get back. There we go. Okay, so
We have this recorded too.
Okay.
how is your property ownership legalized? Do you have deeds and is it do you know anything about that? When you own property, how do they record it publicly? How's that done?
I will not give you specifically, but there is a process which must involve a lawyer
Okay.
who does a lot of investigations to find out if there is no trouble on
Yeah,
the land.
make sure the title is free and clear, there are no liens
Yeah.
on it, etc.
Yes,
That's
yes.
the real estate attorney I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, that's good. So what kind of construction? I looked at construction in your area, and there are a lot of modern looking homes and a lot of really nice places and stuff. And so do you know anything about the construction in your area? Availability of labor, how many construction companies there are? Can you say anything about that?
For construction companies, I can only but say if I need construction to be done, I will consult with the managing director of Radio Sapientia, who in recent times has had to build, certain things like he was in charge
Oh,
of
that's
building.
perfect.
Yes,
And he was a priest,
he is a priest.
so
Yeah.
we know he's
We
honest.
can trust
He
him.
got a good honest.
Oh, that's good. That's good because he'll
Catholic-
already know then.
Catholic Church has the legal people in place. They know about
Oh,
doing
right.
right.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Correct.
So they
Oh.
may be able to get some real estate attorney through
Right.
your
The
priest.
priest. Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. Then my thought too was if you're going to build more of these, let's say that the first one's successful, you find some other land in another area, you could have the people who learn how to do construction go ahead and build those. So they're, it's a double win. Was some thinking.
Okay.
How do they handle your heat and cooling there?
You see, people just get used to.
Well, solar.
I live in a house and I am not bothered about AC or how do you call the other thing? Heater. Because electricity is not even regular. So the truth is my imagination of a turnaround home had been a very small, simple place of, say, a bungalow, which will serve as offices, a hall, which can be partitioned into different training groups like hairdressing, tailoring, computer operation, all of that. Big hall partitioned.
Okay.
And then say 10 rooms, 10 small rooms with, small beds. So a room and a small bathroom for a start, so you have 10 people for a start who have their small room. You stay for as long as you want to stay. Maybe your course is 6 months, your course is 12 months or 18 months. For that period of time, you stay, and then we fix you up somewhere, and some other people come in. That has been my imagination.
Okay. Sure. I know Homeboys does 18 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
When someone comes into Homeboys, they do an 18-month program. They found that is long enough for them to kind of straighten their lives out psychologically and learn a skill at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, but they don't have living quarters.
Okay. They come from their houses.
They come from their houses, wherever
Right.
that is.
Okay.
Right.
Which
Right.
is what we are doing now. We don't have a structure, an infrastructure,
Right.
but the young people come from their houses and they go to our volunteers.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And what you talked about there makes perfect sense for where you are at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with a bungalow and a bigger room with divided.
Partitions.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go to here. Okay, heating and cooling. But I would imagine some people have air conditioning. Do they also have solar there?
Yes. What is more popular is fan. Fan.
I gotcha.
The
Okay.
standing fan. The Chinese have made certain fans that are rechargeable. So when there is electricity, it's working. But
Okay.
but after
Oh, that's
that,
good.
it's charged, and so it keeps. Even in my office, our radio station, that's what we have for now because the AC consumes a lot.
Yeah.
And recently we installed solar energy, which is quite expensive. So we're trying to make sure the fans we use do not consume a lot of electricity.
Right.
So
Yeah.
mhm.
Those are usually, yes. Do
Tim, let
you
me ask you.
have that you have water supply from pipes from that is water you can drink, we'll call potable water?
Most people have wells drilled in their compounds.
Okay,
Yes.
wells.
But where I live right now, we had a well, but the water was really not good. Before I packed into the house, they were not using the well. But there is an underground tank, quite big, and water is harvested during raining season. Raining
Okay,
season,
good.
raining season happens when you have summer. So we are in raining
You
season
got a
now.
lot of rain. That makes
Yes,
sense.
yes. And then we use the water as much as we want during the raining season. When it's dry season, we are careful. When it's finished, we buy. There are big tankers, water tankers that
Sure.
come to supply. Wherever they get
Okay.
the water, I don't know, but they bring water.
Sure.
So
They do that in the Philippines. They have a monsoon season in the Philippines. They collect the rainwater and they put it, the tanks are on the roofs and they
okay,
collect the rainwater. And then because it's on the roof, it will flow down to all the faucets below through by gravity.
okay,
So
yeah,
you have to pump yours up from out of ground.
yes,
Okay.
yes, yes,
Tim,
Are they electric pumps?
yes.
quick question, Tim. Is it construction wise, is it conceivable that solar panel uh, could all the electricity could be saved and when the electricity is cut off in the city, he would still have electricity or not?
Absolutely. What they do is you have a bank of solar panels that face the sun. Sometimes they can put them on the structures based on the side where the sun goes. And then you have what would be considered a big battery that
Yeah,
would hold the power.
Oh, okay.
And
Do
then
they have that now, Mac?
yes.
Good.
We
yeah,
we we have we are having solar in our office now, and we have all these big batteries. I think that's what they call inverters or something. So
yeah,
the electricity comes
good.
from the sun to the batteries and then generated to the
Okay, very good.
Mhm.
Now here, this is important. How do they handle the human waste? Is there a sewer that it goes to? Is there septic tanks? How do they handle the waste?
I would
The
think the same.
bathrooms.
I would think the same way you handle it here. I mean, maybe I wouldn't know the perfect name, but there's something dark around the compound. The top is
So like a
sealed.
septic tank.
Okay, that
That
would be
that would be septic then.
yes. That's well in a modern area. In rural areas, they have this what we call pit toilets. So a big pit is dark. The top is
It's like an outhouse then maybe.
yes, an outhouse thing. But
Okay,
But in a
okay.
modern area like the city where I live,
Yeah.
septic tanks like
So
that are
it's septic system then because you don't have what they call waste treatment plants, big, huge plants that all the pipes from all the houses go to, and they treat it to clean the water. You don't have that
we
yet,
don't have
probably.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Let me put this up. We're almost done. Share. Okay. Here we go. Share. Okay. The local building codes, quality control, inspections. Let me show you something that I was able to find. Stop share. I stopped that. Let me go here. Okay. So this guy here, let me start share again. And these are pretty important, I think. Share preview. Okay. So I was able to find this for NISTA structural plan for the satellites and towns. So this is very well thought out. You can see here, it covers the natural environment, the land use activities, shelters and slums. They're trying to make sure that there's no more slum areas if possible. Urban governance, some things on the environment, pollution, erosion, flooding, local economic development, trade and commerce, transportation, preamble, concepts for development, proposed use of land. So that it's very detailed, and then a whole phasing plan. And up at the top are the government officials and so forth that are pushing this. I would think if you went to one of them with this plan, you would get a lot of support for because it's helping them what they want to have happen. So that's one thing. It's too uh, detailed to get into now. I just want to show you one more real quick,
Okay.
and then okay, let me see if I can share screen. This one. Okay, preview. Okay. So this is the National Building Code. This is what they want for the entire all building. There are a lot of things that are not to code there, but this goes on and on and on. This is whenever you build a structure, these are these are all the things, the design stage, the construction stage, enforcement, you can see schedules and references. And this thing is 476 pages long.
Mm.
So it's got everything like if things have to be sprinkled, distances that you can have as structures, like huge for the roofing, what's required. So this is all very technical engineering information, but I was able to get a hold of your building code as well as your city plan on expansion. And what I think you'd need to find is a builder who's very familiar with this, because going through 476 pages is is not fun.
Well, again, Tim, it might be the guy that helped the priest build some buildings.
Of course, he would
Yeah,
know.
and um, I might say just apparently there's two organizations you have to go through in Nigeria in construction. One is called the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, and the other is called the National Institute of Building in Nigeria. Those are
Okay.
apparently the two organizations that kind of oversee the building.
Yeah,
But the
so
guy, the priest construction guy, I think is maybe the answer to a lot of this.
Yeah, yes, because I mean he has handled lots of building projects. Indeed, when I told him about why I was coming to America and the dream of the turnaround home and where I wanted it to be. And he had asked the same question because I told him I wanted it to be at a rural area in another state where land is cheap. And he was saying, it would not be, how will you manage? You are here in Onitsha, you have
that's
work
right. Yeah,
going
you
on.
need something closer. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
so,
Again, don't worry about the money.
okay, okay.
We'll get a benefactor and
Mhm.
or a corporation.
So going back now, indeed, when I gave him update of what I am doing, and sent him videos of the stuff that has been going on. When I go back now, I will sit down with him again and update him and request his help.
Yeah, good. And you can use this video
Yeah,
what we
exactly.
made today to show the bigger vision and stuff. So look, I'm going to stop recording here.
Okay,
Here
okay.
we go.